Hey you guys, it's Marsha. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to share with you how I saved my Monstera plant, how I brought it back to life and turned it from looking like this to this by carefully repotting it. So I'm going to share with you the steps and the tips that I learned. So let's jump right into it. So first, starting off with my plant. So this is my Monstera plant. As you can see, I have neglected it. We're not going to get into the details of why, but you could probably tell by that baby in the background. I have neglected my plant, you guys. So I need to bring it back to life. I did not want it to die, but as you can see, it has grown out of its nursery pot. I mean, it's just completely hanging over. It just needs to be repotted. And so it's starting to die, and I really want to keep it alive. So I started off by going to the garden store to pick up a new pot to put it in. So of course they always have a lot of different, plant pots and pottery and everything, but I decided to kind of keep it simple. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to grab another nursery pot, but I'm just going to get a size bigger. So the pot that it's in now is an 8-inch. I decided to grab a 10-inch. So I just went up one step. Then I wanted to get some type of stakes and, plant tape or plant ties to kind of lift up those leaves and hold them together. So I grabbed that. And then it's back at the house to repot it. So I already had some potting soil from when I repotted my snake plant. So if you want to check that video out next, you can. But I had some left over. Thankfully, I didn't have to buy no more. So this is what I'm going to use to repot the Monstera plant. So my son decided to help me out, which was great. So I didn't have to do it by myself. He actually really wanted to. So he's helping me repot this Monstera plant. So as you can see, it is like completely limp. It was looking horrible. So this is the first step. So we got some cardboard paper and laid that out. We probably needed some more, but you want to carefully take that plant out of its nursery pot. Just wiggle it out a little bit. And as you can see, the soil is very dry, you guys, and hard. And I feel awful even showing this to you. I feel like a bad plant mom, but hey, it's gonna get worked out. So you want to try to loosen up that soil. You don't want to beat it like you see my son doing. I told him to stop before he bruised the roots. But you want to loosen up that old soil and still try to keep the roots intact. You don't want to disturb the roots too much, but you do want to get most of that old soil off. You don't have to get all of it. I probably removed maybe about 70%, maybe 75% of that old soil we took off. And then we're going to put new soil on there. But I didn't want to take all of it off because I didn't want to disturb the roots too much. The roots are still in good condition, so that's good. They don't look like they've started to mold or rot. So I was happy about that. So it just really needed some fresh soil and a bigger pot, a bigger nursery pot. So now that we have removed most of the old dry soil off, it's time to get the new pot. Again, this is a 10-inch nursery pot. So you can already see the new soil is a dark black or dark brown color versus the old soil that is, kind of dry. So we start off by putting some of that new soil in the bottom of that nursery pot. So you want to just create a small little bed for the plant to sit on. So you don't just want to put the plant straight in there. You do want to create a small layer of fresh soil at the bottom, maybe about 2 inches of fresh soil at the bottom. Then you want to carefully lift the plant up as you see my son doing, and go ahead and place the plant in the pot. So we're trying to create a small little well in the bottom of that pot where that fresh soil is, so the plant could kind of sit in that well and kind of have a nice sturdy foundation to sit on. So it took us a while to get it just right, but we got the plant sitting in that small, bed of fresh soil. And then we're just going to start placing more soil around it. So we're mostly putting the soil, the potting soil, all around the plant. And I'm actually glad that my son helped me because it does kind of require, some help. But you can do it by yourself if you need to. But as you can see, I'm holding the plant in place until it becomes sturdy enough where it can sit up on its own. And then we're just placing fresh soil all around that plant. So I didn't end up using that cactus soil mix that you see in the video because it was just the wrong type of soil. It was too tough and too hard. That's more so for my snake plant or any type of plant like that. So this really just required the regular potting soil. So once we have all the new soil all around it, I'm just gonna pack it in really good and make sure it's solid, that it, has a good foundation, that it's sitting up as straight as it can at this point, and that it's not tipping over like it was in the previous pot. And as you can see, it already started to look a little bit better with it just being lifted up with the fresh soil and in a bigger pot. So I was happy about that, but of course it still needed some work, you guys. So next is actually trying to lift up those leaves. So I got some garden tape. I really love this garden tape. I picked it up from Amazon actually, and I'll link that down below. But it's a Velcro garden tape, so it doesn't bruise your stems at all. So I really love it. It actually worked out really good. So I'm using one of those plant stakes that I got from the garden store, and I'm actually carefully trying to put it down in the pot. So I kind of felt around a little bit to see where it would naturally kind of slide in, because again, I didn't want to damage my roots. And once I found a spot for it, I went ahead and stuck it down in there. Now I'm using my Velcro tape to lift some of the leaves up around that stake, and then I'm just going to secure it with that Velcro tape. I'm not putting it on tight at all. It is going to be kind of loose because I don't want to damage my stems. So it is kind of loose, fairly loose, but still secure. And it's so easy to cut off strips of that tape however much you need to secure those stems around that stake. And I also use it just to secure maybe 2 stems together by themselves. So it looks crazy right here, you guys. But trust me, I didn't want anything drooping too far over. And so this is how it looks after I finish with the Velcro tape. Now I'm just taking some water and I am watering the plant. And once you repot your plant, you do want to water it generously. So I'm putting a lot of water in. I lifted up to see how much water was coming out the bottom, because that would tell me if it has enough water or not. All right, so prepare to be blown away, you guys. So I'm gonna give you 3 different updates. So this is after the first month of me repotting that plant. As you can see, it already looks so much better, you guys. It looks lively. It is looking a little scarce because I had to actually cut a lot of the stems and the leaves off. So within that month, I noticed that a lot of them were dying. They were just dying. I thought that I had failed, basically. So I started cutting off the dead leaves and the dead stems. I wish I would have got that for you guys, but I didn't grab that. But once I did, oh my gosh, can you see all of these new little monsteras growing out? Like, that was not happening at first. At first, it was just a bunch of them were dying. And so once I cut off all of the dead ones, these new leaves started popping out. And it was just so amazing to see. It was just really amazing to see, and it got me excited again. I was like, maybe my plant isn't going to die. So I'm just showing you exactly where the cuts are, where I had to make some cuts. But if you notice that some of your leaves are dying, go ahead and cut those off, and you want to cut them down kind of low, and this will help your plant be healthier and start to grow new leaves. All right, and so this is a 3-month update now, and as you can see, it already, oh my gosh, it looks even more fuller and just bright, and I mean, it just really looks like a healthy plant. So this is month 3. I didn't have to cut any more dead leaves off. Now you're just seeing new leaves blossom and bloom, and oh my gosh, I love this angle too, you guys. So this is after month 3, and it's just, at first I was like, okay, well, I think this is what it's gonna be. But as you'll see in the next update, it completely blew me away. It's still growing, you guys. But here's a view of some of the new leaves that are still coming up on this plant, and that is what you wanna see. You wanna see new leaves continuing to come up and grow. And you guys, this is the update that I really wanted you to see. This is the 4-month update. I actually took this video just yesterday, and oh my gosh, look how gorgeous it looks. I'm actually getting scared, you guys. I'm thinking I might have to repot it again because it's so big. And so maybe I should have gotten a 12-inch pot instead of a 10-inch. So I hope I don't have to, because now I don't want to disturb it. But as you can see, these light green leaves, like that one right there, are the newer ones. So the light green leaves are the ones that are just blooming, and they're kind of delicate and they're a little bit thinner. And the ones that are actually a little bit older are darker green and they're a little bit thicker. So that's how you can distinguish which ones are new and which ones are old. But oh my gosh, they're just gorgeous. I have a lot of different split leaves, or split leaf, as you may see it called on the internet, split leaf or split leaf Monstera. So I got a mixture of different split leaves and just whole leaves, and oh my gosh, they're just gorgeous, you guys. And guess what, y'all? Even after 4 months, I still got new little leaves coming out. I cannot believe it. So I'm really excited about the growth of this Monstera plant. I really feel like I brought it back to life. But here's what I really want to know. What in the world are these things that are growing from the side of my plant, you guys? I haven't Googled it yet, but if you are a plant person, please tell me what those are, because I don't want to clip them off, but they kind of look disgusting. So I'm just kind of just letting them hang out. But if you happen to know, please let me know down in the comments what that is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video on repotting your Monstera plant. If you have any other questions or tips, please leave them down below for me in the comments. I would love to check them out. Check out my other plant videos. I'll leave them down below in the description box. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel by hitting that red subscribe button down below. I would love for you to join my community. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you in the next video.